Hello there, my friends, and welcome. I hope that you are having a great day. It's great to have you here with me. And if you've been following along, you know that I'm not actually in my home nest and I'm on the road, and that has been just a fantastic time to spend time with my husband, to relax and unwind, but also to plan and to create. Now, I'm a girl of multiple projects, so I thought I would share something that I'm just starting. I was going to save this to later in the weekend, but I'm a believer in just doing what I feel like in terms of projects. I can't pre-plan. I wish I could because I did mark out my diary and now I have to scribble it in a different way. But I want to, well, you know what I'm wearing. This is one of my wearables, my Art on the Heart, and I want to introduce you to a piece that I bought since I've been here in Thailand. Now, there's a great store and it's called Good Goods, and this is a jacket, so I bought it new, but in terms of my dollars, it was extremely reasonable. What I loved about it is that it's sort of it's not a linen, I don't know, but it's a loose weave, and look at these. All around, it's got like a fringe on the neckline, on the sleeves, and on the pockets, and on the bottom. So it's very Chanel-esque, if you like, in design. Obviously not a Chanel. I don't like that it's white inside, so something will happen to that when I'm home. But it is a jacket, a short jacket, and I'm going to treat it like art on my heart. And I put some blooms in place, and I thought we could just have a stitch along. So whatever you're working on, grab it now and let's just chat and stitch and relax and feel no pressure. So I love doing stuff like this, you know, me and my wearables, and I just keep wearing them, and I'm up to mending some of them. I've had them going for a little while now, but the chance to start afresh on a new one is exciting. So this should not be stitched. It's just got itself in there. So what have I done? I've harvested some flowers, and as we start, I'm going to harvest some more. The building work continues next door, so thank you for your patience with that. So I'm really limited to the fabric that I had bought with me. I actually have bought one scarf new from the same store for another project that you won't have seen yet. So yeah, it's just fun. It might be noisy, but very enjoyable. So I've been talking to people lately about my style, if you like. I've been asked big questions, like by the Embroidery UK. They go, how would you describe your style or your stitching? And that was a funny moment for me. But I suppose the more that I do this and the more I articulate it to you, we all have favorite things, don't we, of what we like to do. And mine is totally gardening, and it always involves flowers, and it's almost like I cut flowers that other people have put together up, and then I put them back together in a different way. So it's collage, and that seems to come quite naturally to me. So I am using, and if I don't use them all on this jacket, I will be using them elsewhere. So this is Miss Rose's sister Violet's fabric. And I've talked to you about meeting Gabriella at the Australian Quilt Show 2 years ago, and how she's become such an inspiration to me, and you know, we're friends, and that's why I'm thrilled to be going to Adelaide as a result of her invitation. So that's why I'm going there. I'm not planning any of these bits. If I'm invited and it feels right, I'm traveling and enjoying and meeting wonderful people, as well as you guys. Always will be here. And on that note, I want to say shout out to Barbara from Dunedin and to Rosemary from Nelson, who I got to meet in person. If I've named them before, it doesn't matter because they're so special to me. And that's, you know, both of those have been with me on YouTube since my beginning of my YouTube. So that's what's pretty special. So thank you for being here, and whether I know you yet, or, you know, you can always, yeah, just say, hi Kate, I'm here. And that is lovely for me too. I'm here. Okay, so just a rough harvest. That's the same as that, so I'm going to leave that for the moment, but a little bit of contrast. We're looking for layering of different flowers, different textures, and different threads, basically, is how it all works. So before we started, this is hanging out here because I did do a little bit of tiny tacking, which is my way of getting rid of the pins. I go, you know, down and up in the same spot and a long stitch underneath. It's not showing through on the lining, but it just gets most of the pins out of the way, and that's here in case I need something. So let's get stitching. I realized that I had bought some of my fluoros that I'd wound at the workshop and didn't realize I still had with me. So let's start with something really bright and colorful. And it really is whimsy and wonder. So as you've got your work in your hands, you know, have a look down and, you know, perhaps you can tell me, what's your favorite bit of it? What have you really loved doing on it so far? Or are you just sort of hurrying to complete it so that you can get onto something else? And I mean, all of that is real, isn't it? So what stitch am I doing? I'm doing a funny stitch that weirdly on this sort of work feels more natural to me than a running stitch. So it's like a back stitch with a space, and it gives almost like a textural running stitch. Better check that you can see me. Yeah, look, oh, that's nice through the phone. What an interesting combination of colors. So I was just attracted to the green. There is a pink one there. And I love wearing my art, and so that's what's going through my mind now. But I'm not going back to that store unless I made a very, very special effort, which I could. But how funny, all of you who've been here for a while, I'm choosing green things and I'm putting flowers on them. So my background garden in this one is green and white checks. Now I imagine you've done this as well. I see often that people post about embellishing their clothing and jeans, and I'm just smiling as I remember the gorgeous Christine from Create and Craft with Christine, who wore her complete outfit to Green Door with her strawberries, her blazer and her jeans on them, like a living tribute to her art form, because I don't think that there's any point in decorating something if you're not going to wear it. So it is great to start with something that you already have that might need mending, or yeah, just a little bit of colour. I keep finding myself now imagining everything that I have with flowers on it, which is so far from what I used to wear. It does make you happy, and I love seeing, like, I'm here in like a tropical country and it's summertime, and it's just, there are hibiscus, and wasn't meaning hibiscus, frangipanis everywhere, and I feel, oh, I'm sort of in nature's garden and adding to it in my not so sophisticated ways. Nothing can beat nature. But I like the fact that this one, we're going back into winter at home, but I could be wearing this on the plane and embellishing it as I stitch on my way home next week. You'll have to wait and see, because I don't know yet. I do know that it's lovely to stitch, and I have said to people, like, you know, don't, like, if you don't like the feel of something and it doesn't feel right in your fingers, like, why do it? So that's what happened with me with wadding. I think I did wadding once and found blanket and have never gone back. Now, not everyone has blanket, not everyone likes blanket, but my point is, I feel happy right now. This is the happiest moment in my day so far. And I had lots of happy moments already. My husband is playing his last round of golf today. They've been doing well, and yeah, we've just got a nice routine going. So you'll notice that I'm actually not even thinking of this as a flower at this point. I'm just moving the work around, talking to you, and the variation of the thread is going to come up with breathable colours. Oh, the drill is, I was worried about those workmen yesterday. A big storm came in the afternoon and they had drills and things out, and I went, oh. Anyway, all is good. Okay, let's do a few more on this little bit. I do want to do a special shout out to lovely people that I met in New Zealand who may not have been watching before, to the beautiful cat in particular. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And just seeing people sort of, I probably said, a workshop isn't the end, it's always the beginning. So it's thrilling to know that people are still stitching, like Rosemary and Barbara. Bron's out there too. Bron's safely home in Melbourne. I think Michelle Perth's in the UK. Christie's from Sew Bits is selling bits and pieces. So, like, we're all scattered all over the place, but united in our joy of making, aren't we? And see how much fun you can get out of one thread. It's almost like a hessian, but, you know, it's weave, but it's so soft and beautiful. Love it. I think if I line up at the airport, I even get more money back. Oh, something in the room next door. Back, so very inexpensive jacket for what it is. Okay, so there we are. We've started embellishing that shoulder over here. I try and keep a little bit uniform, so that's that fabric, and this is Miss Rose here. This is Miss Rose, so I sort of look at them together and think, this is where standing up helps as well. Am I up to needing an orange flower over there? Or do I stick with pink? And if I need to stick with pink, where on earth is the rest of that fabric? Let's look in my fleur bag. Nope. Let me just have a look around. I've got these ones as well. These are the scraps from, I've been putting this on pouches, and these are pretty, so I'll leave some of those. I'm looking around to see, oh, I think I do have, yep, I do have some more of this with me. So first of all, let's just harvest some more flowers, because that's happy. And then I probably don't need the rest of this fabric. I've taken all the little bits out of it, all the little morsels. I did a repost yesterday. I was just thinking about little morsels. Have I already said that this Dior, their latest, they've done a jewelry collaboration, and it is the most divine thing that I've seen. And so it is like a garden of jewels. So even if you're not on social media, I'm sure if you go onto the internet and just search Dior and jewels or gardens or something, it's just magnifique. Okay, so here's some cotton of mine, the Pearl 3. It's all caught up. I was going to use that. I probably still can, but sorry to waste your time looking at me getting that thread out. Like, how does that happen, everyone? Does that happen to you? Goodness. I don't want to waste it. Okay, let me just, I'll just chop it here. Someone very close in the room next door. See, those flowers up there are beautiful, but they're white. I can paint them like I've been painting on my flowers in vases. Oh, I've just seen this. What's a pretty flower that could go that way? Maybe there. Let's leave some of that darker color on for contrast. And let's leave an autumn leaf on. Sometimes I leave them quite large, the pieces. I was explaining that the other week. So don't go too tiny in your harvesting, first of all, because sometimes it can scare you off and you think, I've got too many tiny flowers. Like, I have harvested those, but they will go on top of another piece here. And on a wearable, I often like stand up and down to actually see it on. what have I covered up? Yeah, I don't want to cover up all the leaves, but that looks like a good position there. Looking in for a pin. Let's put that there and let's chop. Okay, now, people of Canada, just while I think of it, I've been liaising this morning with the post office, which is in Thorbold, Ontario, near Niagara Falls, and they are going to, they invited me, so they are going to sell my mini workshops there on their website. Now, I know a couple of you have already made direct contact, but just, yeah, so don't miss out. It's a different sort of workshop up there. It's sort of a taster, different to my US ones. But if you can't get in to the other ones, or just want to go to Niagara Falls or see the magnificent store that is the post office, just there we are, just giving you, my newsletter is out Monday week, but just a heads up. Why have I just done that? Can you tell me? I don't know why. Oh, that's a very bent pin. How's she looking? See, already a garden. So I'm not going to tiny tack this one. I'm just going to go in because I want to do some stitching with you before I go. So this is that beautiful variegated thicker pearl. I told you I ordered that online and I love it. It's like a great alternative to my wools. And when I'm doing a flower, I sort of just suddenly sometimes start off like this. Why that bit? I don't know, but I can see the line quite clearly. Maybe here. So I'm getting that piece, and this little piece on. So many people over here have got tattoos, and it's because it's summer, I imagine you can see them, but I found myself thinking about, you know, maybe tattooing is exactly like what I'm doing in my work. You start off with one and then think, oh, I want another, and you join it, and before you know it, you're covered. Well, I'm not covered, but do you know what I'm trying to say? I think it's contagious. Because this thread is quite thick, it makes even more of a bobble. And I buried the bobbles. So you'll have to tell me what else you've already adorned or embellished, and that you wear. As I said, I need to do some actual mending on a couple of my shirts, or the red one in particular that you've seen me wear since last year. That Fleur laughs about because I wore it in Nelson 2025. I think that was April, and I still had the needle and thread in it. and was wearing it because that's, you know, that's the authenticness of the process. Now, it's a bit crazy. I didn't realize that I had the needle in it, but I just do love wearing what I stitch. That's enough of that one. Okay, what's happening here? So when I stitch that down, it'll be about, okay, let's do a little bit of wool. I did pink over there, didn't I? Maybe we'll do a different sort of thread. I've got my nest here beside me. I love using this gold at the moment. Actually, why don't we do the start of the center of that flower? Such a beautiful weight in my hands to stitch. That's sort of like another criteria, isn't it? Nothing better than having something that you're working on that gives weight, like a comfort in your lap. And I'm already in the space of this video thinking I will be stitching it on the plane because it's a night flight home. And it will keep me warm at the same time. And then I can wear it off the plane because we're going back into, although Australia has not been, and I'm not complaining anyway, it hasn't been cold yet, which usually just means it's being postponed until another time. Like later, it'll go be colder for longer, who knows. Just grateful for every day. The sun always comes up. Now, I didn't set out to, but I'm feeling like this could be a little bit of a weave moment. So let's get here. And back of the needle, it's variegated and it's only skinny. Didn't plan to do it, so it's going to be wonky, but that's sort of appropriate in the middle of a garden, up and down. I've been doing this ever since that train trip. Do you remember when I was sort of quite upset on the train after the conference? Did I call it wonky weave? I freed myself from counting because stylistically it sort of goes. So we want to go over, we need to go under, over. So many people do weaving absolutely beautifully. So look, just put it in and see if you can find how to weave. As I say, I'm not the teacher, I'm the yeah, and that's enough of that, but it's added texture and layering, which is what I wanted. And now, where will we go? On with the show. Oh gosh, that's a big noise. Okay, now see this flower over here? Something I do, which I am realizing I'm doing, to add that flower to this flower, I'm going to pretend that this is a petal. Oh, being stabbed by that needle. And just didn't need to draw it, I'm just making it up. As I said, it's an abstract impersonation of a garden. So we've got this bit, we've got that bit, and then because we've still got thread, let's do some more around this beautiful golden flower. Sorry if the white is too white on the inside. As I said, that I have got my gouache here and I thought actually about painting it, but I think, yeah, I think I'll just do something else when I get home. I didn't read a lot about this company that I bought from, Good Goods or Good for Good or something like that, but they have elephants and some videos playing in the store, so it may be that they rescue elephants. I might be completely making that up. There we go, so back to where we started, do an extra stitch there. Thank you for keeping me company, I'm so grateful. I could sit here in silence. I'd always have a YouTube on in the background. Well, no, that's not true. I often have, but I do like doing things in silence, but I do like stitching with others. So thank you for keeping me company. Wherever I am in the world, I have my little tripod and off we go. Someone did ask me about Kansas because I have been in Kansas at this time. I think I've told you for the last 1, 2, 3 years. That project has wound up, so I don't actually have to go in person anymore. So sorry, my Kansas buddies and my Oklahoma folks that I fly over the top. Not there in person, but still thinking of you and sending wishes. That was wonderful work for good as well. All right, there we go. So it might be green is good jacket. Who knows? I bought it in XL if you're wondering the size, just so that's loose. And if it doesn't stay with me, it can fit someone else down the track. Okay, there we go. I hope you've enjoyed that introduction to my Wearable Art jacket. Oh yeah, I have to go back to there. It's so much fun. I've got braid, I've got all sorts of things. So I hope when you next see her, you will enjoy the adornment. Okay, bye for now. This is Kate, sending love and hugs. Happy weekend and take care. Bye.